Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome. It's a glorious day here at USA Global TV and Radio, where we proudly celebrate world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Our show today is the United Kingdom News and Culture, episode 125. So stay tuned. We've got amazing presentations for you today. Let's welcome the team. Joining me is the star of our show, DIANN FLOYD, international award-winning author, globe trotter, and connector, and a dear friend. Welcome, DIANN.
Hello, Dr. JACALYN. Great to see you.
Thank you. Great to see you. I'm so glad that you're safe and sound. I know that where you live in the great state of Texas was really pummeled by the storm. So glad that you're okay.
Thank you so much. Yes, it's drying out, though.
Has it sparked any ideas for new books? I know that you're constantly got something coming out.
No hurricane books.
I thought maybe Boomer lost his way and had to find his way back, but
he's always doing that.
Well, thanks for being here today. I really do appreciate it. Let's welcome our expert correspondents joining us from the United Kingdom. First, we have the lovely HELENA CHARD. If you haven't caught the Royal Breaking News, please do check it out. And also, she's the star of the Royally Rich Lifestyle Show. Let's welcome her to the program. Hello, HELENA.
Hello, ladies. So good to see you. We're back and it's 125.
Yes,
wow.
It is. You know, it's amazing because it would seem that you're doing nothing but working on our platform, but yet you're working on a number of platforms. So thanks for
I am. You're welcome.
All right. And also joining us from the United Kingdom, but a different part, is Mr. Simon MacDonald, who every week gets to have the pleasure of our company. What can I say? He's also an author. He's an expert when it comes to fisheries. He's a keynote speaker, and he is somebody who has a presentation that we love every week. Welcome, Simon. Good to have you here.
Hello, it's nice to be back. I was missing last week, but never mind. I brought a note. But, no, it is. It's lovely to be back again, and yes, my commiserations for your weather, DIANN, and especially for you, HELENA, in the deep south in Londonshire there as well, where the Wimbledon regatta is being held as we speak. But here in Scotland, the sun is shining. You know, I mean, the sun always shines on the righteous. So, who am I to argue?
Isn't it
You
funny?
won't be saying that at winter time.
You know, it's interesting. Yesterday on our show, The Listening Mentor, Caroline Heward was with me, and she's obviously in London as well. And I said, I don't understand. Everybody's always talking about the weather. And she said, it's a very British thing. And I said, well, can you explain it to this American so I understand? And she said, well, we don't have many nice days. So and the weather can change from one extreme to the other within 24 hours. So that's why it's always a topic of conversation. I thought, okay, that's interesting. Anything that the two of you would like to add about that weather conversation?
Yeah, I mean, it's not the weather that's bad. It's the way you're dressed that's bad.
You're so
then, yeah, I mean, I find wherever I go, I do have to carry sort of 4 seasons worth of clothing in the car, even if it's just going down to the local shops. we do tend to get quite a lot of it, so it and it changes so rapidly that it gives a constant topic of conversation.
Do you
It's
carry an
tough,
umbrella with you every day?
Sorry?
Do you carry an umbrella?
No, because the wind just blows it inside out. I mean, an
Oh.
umbrella is really quite a futile thing to have here.
Helena, what do you have to say about the weather?
I know, I was just to say, obviously it's Wimbledon here. This is huge. Every year it's the most fun time, and especially for my mum, who's, since I've been knee-high, has watched it absolutely, every second of the day. And it's always good fun out and about. And we have a ballot system here as well for people that maybe want to go to Wimbledon, because obviously there's too many people to sort of sit there in the courts. But you look at the courts and the seats are empty. And the reason being is the weather is appalling. It's raining, it's wet, it's miserable. And I'd say probably going back years and years, it's bright sunshine, it's warm, they sell strawberries, really positive. Such a shame.
Well, isn't there a royal box at Wimbledon also?
Royal box. I mean, I have to say, we've all been like, whoa, Princess Catherine obviously to be there. We're begging. She is a person. She's synonymous with Wimbledon as well.
I think there's a problem with I hear some. Do you hear clicking? Anyone? Yeah,
Yes.
I think there's a problem.
Okay, I'll just stop and I'll try something out.
Yes. So I was just asking if there is a royal box, and I think there is, right? The royal family is there and they invite so many people. Does anyone know anything about this?
Yeah, well, I think at the moment it's a royal bathtub, really. It's getting
That's a good one.
Rather a lot of rain down there. Oh dear, what a pity. I mean, usually Wimbledon, they have it lovely and sunny, but they do tend to have one day when it hammers down. But my connections with Wimbledon a few years ago, when I had my salmon smoking business, and I used to supply smoked salmon to Wimbledon, and it was just staggering the amount of smoked salmon they got through there. I mean, the big thing is strawberries and cream at Wimbledon. I mean, that is, I hate to think how many tons of strawberries they get through there, but they certainly got through an awful lot of smoked salmon as well. So I wasn't complaining.
Sometimes I wonder if there's any fish left in the sea when you're finished cooking for everyone.
Oh no, there's plenty more. There's plenty more. We keep them going. Here we are. She's back again.
Welcome back, Helena.
Thank you. I'm here. So yes, the roll box. Yes, there is. There's not been that many rolls, I have to say, in the roll box. But as I said, it's been raining and a bit miserable, and it's just slightly different this year. But I just wish and hope, and I look forward to seeing Princess Catherine and putting out the positive vibes there this weekend. She's going to be there giving out the trophies.
Yay! And I know you're going to share a photograph with us later when you do your Royal Roundup, and I think we should get to it. What do you think, Helena?
Okay, good. Let's go for it. It's a short Royal Roundup, but it'll be good. Thank you so much, everybody. So I have a short Royal Roundup. It's been a very, very busy time. Not brilliant weather, but again, incredibly busy in every single way. I mean, we also had the kissing of hands, as we've spoken about before. So the constitutional term for the formal installation of the new Prime Minister, who is with us. And it is Keir Starmer. So we have a Labour government with us, and it's a very strange time, but actually a time to, I think, celebrate and look forward. And let's just, I think with hope, I think everyone needs to join in, and let's just work towards changing our situation here in the UK. But I mean, for me, the fun thing is seeing our Prince William. He is such a good guy, I have to say. He cheers me up whenever I see him. And I think seeing him animated and just happy and relaxed, lots of different looks, is really good to see. So there's not only Wimbledon going on, we have the Euros, so the football Euros, and our England team are in Germany. Prince William has been amazing. What's so lovely, his passion, obviously, is he loves football. That's quite obvious to see. And I just think, look at that. I mean, this. I think this was the Switzerland game, if I'm right. I'm not a complete football savvy person, but I just love when people get so involved in something and they're so happy. And obviously, it's great to support our guys who are out in doing the Euros. But we're actually playing tonight as well with the Netherlands at 8 p.m. Whether Prince William is there, I don't know. I'd be surprised if he wasn't. But interesting, that last photograph where he was like so excited. He'd been to his children's speech day, I think it was, and he had to actually dash off to Dusseldorf. Got there, and you can see him engaged, cheering, and just so thankful to the boys, and also hugging the players, which I think was just so lovely. Like Saka, we've had some sort of things in the past. I think with the Euros a couple of years ago, there was a little bit of racism going on. It was absolutely awful, and it's just refreshing to see this joy and this sort of energy that's going on. So thank you, Prince William, and obviously our boys that are out there. So let's hope that the match goes well with the Netherlands. Also lovely to see something that's coming up, and Prince William definitely has the empathy of his mother. That's the late Princess of Wales that I think everyone absolutely loves. He's actually going to be fronting a new documentary, and this is really it's called Prince William, We Can End Homelessness. Now, I think this is absolutely super. He has such a passion, and I think this stems from his upbringing. I mean, Princess Diana, their mother, was so fabulous with them because they had such a privileged, so this is Harry as well as William, privileged upbringing. But she used to always want them to see the real world, and she was a patron of a number of homeless charities, and she used to take them to the Passage, I think it was, and again I think he's also patron of that. And so it was a long history basically of working with the homeless, and completely life-changing. And I think everything that he's doing at the moment is absolutely a passion of his, and you can really see it. So look at that lovely picture. That's a picture of him, I think, in the documentary that's coming up. Princess Diana was a patron of Centrepoint, that he visited a lot when he was younger, and now Prince William is patron. And he's saying, we can end homelessness. Come on, let's go for it. He's got a 5-year vision. He's actually building on the duchy land as well. He's the Duke of Cornwall. And he's launched the Homewards project that we've spoken about before. And I think what's super about this is it's a collaboration, really, of different people. So its heart is giving with different organisations to, at the moment, 6 flagship locations. This docu-series as well is going to educate people, because it's amazing how people don't actually understand homelessness and wonder how it can happen, but it's absolutely rife here. There's going to be so much building on the duchy land that he's working towards. And there's also, along with the docu-series, there's the Saatchi Gallery, and they're holding like a public, it's given an experience. You've got the artistic side there, and it's trying to, again, as I say, educate people. So really excited, love this passion, and the fact that he's carrying on his late mother's passion as well. So that's really, really beautiful. I love the transformative approach. I think that's so important. And I think moving on from that, from the lovely Prince William, actually, we're going to talk about a little bit, because obviously not with the joy and everything. I think everyone's probably seen, I don't know whether they have, but seen him on his e-scooter. So Prince William has gone viral, and it's interesting to see. It was a tourist, I think, that caught him racing around Windsor. So he lives in Adelaide Cottage, which is something like 15 minutes from Windsor Castle. And you saw him on his e-scooter, like zipping through into Windsor Castle to meet, I don't know, whoever it may have been. But I just think it's so clever, because obviously he's interested in everything that's eco and various things like that. And I think also it's the joy factor. It's the joy factor that I love seeing him happy and seeing him doing these fun things. I think it's lovely to catch that. So there's so many things. It's gone viral. I think there's certain people have said, why wasn't he wearing a crash helmet? He was wearing his sunglasses though, and he was looking incredibly cool. And I'm moving on to the Joy of Luxury Highgrove Splash. Now, this has sort of created interest, but it's weird how it's created interest, because I think people have sort of said, oh my gosh, what's going on? You know, King Charles has brought out this new perfume splash. You know, has he sold his soul? You know, he's gone down a sort of Meghan Markle route, and he's, you know, now he's like selling perfumes. But this is actually something very lovely. And it's nothing to do with anything like that. So this is to do with Highgrove. And as we know, he's got a home that he lives on in Highgrove, which is beautiful. And Highgrove Gardens are exquisite. If anyone ever has a chance to visit Highgrove Gardens, you must. There are so many different little, different gardens, and everyone takes something away when they go there. It's beautiful because they raise money. They have events there. It really is something incredible. But this is something that is added to all the goods that are sold at the Highgrove estate, and this is a splash. So it embodies elegance, luxury, sophistication. You know, it's got citrus notes, it's uplifting. And I know that Highgrove is known for the cedar tree, so it's got a great cedar feel to it, and also a serene lavender feel. But so the whole thing is, it evokes the charm of Highgrove Gardens. Now, it's £135 for 100 ml, and everyone's been saying, how can you be so expensive? You know, that's ridiculous money. But actually, if you're buying something of quality and something that lasts for a long time, I think there's something really special, because it's a real sensory journey, and I think beautiful, absolutely beautiful. The things that go on there are amazing, and I think Highgrove House is incredible. And to remember that the money that's made, which is the most important thing really, all the goods that are sold there, and this is in the bath and body section, the profit made, it goes to the King's Foundation. Now, this foundation was set up in something like 1986, and this is to help communities create a more sustainable world. And we know that he was absolutely, King Charles, so ahead of everybody in that kind of thing. And with this money, there's lots of education and training that are given to people. So really, really happy about that. And the extra thing is it's in association with TrueFit and Hill, and they are actually the oldest barbershop. This collaboration is a great collaboration, and that barbershop, I think, was formed in 1805. So something quite special. And the actual, I know that we just showed the picture, but if we show it again, there's a sort of picture on there as well, which is a watercolour, and that's by King Charles. And you can't see it properly, but the lovely colours, and it's of the cedar tree, which is very important at Highgrove Estate. So there we go. I think something really lovely and very different to what Meghan Markle is doing. So a lot of people are asking, oh my goodness, you know, what's happening? But it really is just one product of lots that are sold. So all very, very good. And I think moving on, we will talk about King Charles giving. Now, we know that King Charles gives out lots and lots of awards. And I love that aspect of Great Britain, and also the history. It goes back years and years and years. But the most beautiful thing was seeing yesterday King Charles give Dame Shirley Bassey, the great Dame Shirley Bassey, who looks absolutely amazing. Goodness me, I think she's late 80s and she looks phenomenal. So good for her. But she's given us so much, hasn't she? And she's got the most amazing voice, and she's, I think, produced all these wonderful, memorable Bond theme tunes that I remember. But she's been given the Order of the Companies of Honour, and that's for her services to music. So for people that give a very long period of time to the arts, science, medicine, government. I know that King Charles, in fact, gave Catherine, Princess of Wales, something which was lovely for him to do that recently. But it was just so exciting to see that. And look at that lovely photograph. That's obviously King Charles when he was Prince Charles, and Dame Shirley Bassey, who I think is super. I think I'll end there, but we do have, I'm sure, lots and lots of news. I've got a huge amount of news. I know that we have the, as we said, Dr. JACALYN, we do have a photograph of Catherine, the Princess of Wales. This was a couple of years ago, though. This is Wimbledon, and we are, as I've said earlier, we are absolutely egging her on. We hope that she's going to be able to give out the awards at Wimbledon, which is so special in the UK every year. She is patron of the England Lawn Tennis Club. She always gives out the Wimbledon trophies. I hope to see her in the Royal Box because I wanted her to be there just from a joyful point of view. But obviously, she's undergoing her cancer treatment, so it's only if she feels good. But we're just wanting to celebrate with her. I think that's it. So let's just see. I mean, she is a super tennis player, inspiring and empowering to lots of us. And I really, really pray that she will be there. Well, I'll be watching carefully. I won't be there, but I'll be watching it actually on television. So I think there's also just a little pointer that I'm hoping that things are well, we have heard that it's turning a corner. She's turned a corner. And I know that now there's a guy called Drastic Dave. Now he's Sir David Lewis. He is now being made officially the director of the Royal Foundation of the Prince and Princess of Wales, and that's obviously the umbrella company of all of their work that they do. And this is quite important because previously they were going to put people in place, but they didn't do that because Princess Catherine was quite ill. So for that to happen recently, this is a good sign, and he is definitely somebody that will help out. He's helped lots of big organisations here in the UK, including Tesco's actually, which is obviously a food shop, but turned that store around hugely. But wishing her lots of love and luck, and we hope to see her this weekend. Thank you very much. There's so much royal news, but I will share that with you in due course.
So interesting.
Yay. Thank you.
Yes, an interesting thing there with Dame Shirley Bassey as well, been made a companion of honour. Apparently, there are only ever 65 companions of honour at any one time. So there's probably a bit of a queue there waiting, but it is about the highest honour you could possibly receive. So yes, congratulations to her.
Absolutely. And the King Charles has always loved her. Always loved her, hasn't he, as well? So I couldn't believe it when I saw her recently. This was only on television. I didn't meet her personally, but I mean, she just looks amazing, and she's just so, goodness me. I hope I'm like that one.
I also loved how you told us about the homelessness. I can't wait to see the plan laid out and the success, because maybe it'll be the model that all of us in the world could use, because we suffer from homelessness here in Texas for sure.
I absolutely think, because everyone's saying, oh my goodness, it's such a big thing that he's trying to do in 5 years, but actually it do so much good, and his passion is huge, and it's the way that everyone's going to be educated, because it's incredible how many people don't really understand homelessness, because there's lots of different factors. I mean, yes, also we need more homes, and I think with our new government that we've got at the moment, we'll be building away, I'm sure. But it's just the approach to the issue that's different. And it's great that he's doing this documentary, and he's going to be shining a light on lots of different people who wouldn't normally have the platform to talk about their experiences, what happened to them, what they feel, people can do to help. These are people that have been homeless, and I just think it's great. It's gathering in everybody, and good for him. He really is front and centre, Prince William. I really do applaud him. I'm so happy because obviously there's lots of things going on, as we're all well aware, around the world, and it's just so good to see such good going on and just ignoring little things which are aggravating in the world. So good for him. I'm looking forward to it. It's a 2-part docu-series, so it's not huge, but I think from there, because he's got this 5-year project, it's obviously, I think he's going to be bringing things out each year, and it's just lovely, isn't it, as well, to think that we can, as well for him as well, the love for the late Princess Diana, because it really was something special that she did with her children. I mean, imagine, because, you know, behind closed doors, behind palace walls, just the privilege, and then being taken out into a charity, meeting people that are not as fortunate as them. It sort of, it formed them, you know. If Prince William, he just says it stuck with him from an early age, and he knew with a passion that he wanted to make that change. And that's how I see the royal family. I really do regard them in high esteem.
That's so wonderful. It reminds me of the movie The Prince and the Pauper. It's a long time ago. I don't know if y'all remember it. Do y'all remember that? And the prince, someone who looked exactly like him, and they switched places. And so the prince was out with the real people. It's really worth watching. And so that's what Princess Diana did. She made sure her sons knew the world. And now her legacy can live on. This is powerful.
Absolutely. It's that legacy. And yeah, I feel so excited. There's lots to look forward to. There really is.
I think it's interesting. Before I start my day, I check out, 15 different news outlets to find out what's going on. And more of them have an entire section that's dedicated to the royal family. So it's really of interest here in the States.
Oh, absolutely.
I just love it. I do love it. I think as well, something that I have realised, and you obviously know because you live there, is that awards ceremonies seem to be huge in the States, giving out awards all the time. Is that the case? And people, you can always buy your awards.
Yes,
that's true. It's not quite the same here in the UK. So it's something I'm sort of trying to get to grips with in a sense, because it should really be on merit and really what you've achieved. It should be done. It should be nothing to do with your status or what you have, or, you know, the fact that you might actually get to put bums on seats and create a bit more PR for the company that's giving the award and things like that. I mean, I get it, but it seems, I don't know, am I right in saying that, or am I just talking out turn? Sorry.
No, I agree completely. It's some awards have become very political, where people who really deserved the award, oh my gosh, they won 3 years in a row that Oscar. We can't have them win the 4th. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah, isn't it? And I think it's always really lovely to be able to give awards to people, because there are so many people that maybe, you know, shining a light on people that you don't really know about, that work tirelessly in whatever they do, and that's the most amazing thing I think that you can do for people. So that's always good to see.
No, I agree. Sometimes in the classroom, I would make sure my students knew about wonderful scientists and what they've done and how they've made the world a better place, that it wasn't just movie stars. It's the scientists, it's the astronauts, it's the everyday person that's building things, you know, shining a light to the students that the world is made up of a lot of great people. And what is it that you're going to do to make the world great and a better place while you're here? That's kind of where I came from as a classroom teacher.
Perfect. Oh, you must have been brilliant.
Thank you.
Lots of people now, young people running around, thankful for all you've done. How lovely.
That's very kind to say.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right there, Dan, as well. But then, I mean, you've picked up one or two awards on the way as well, and very deservedly so as well. I mean, your writing skills are amazing. That's it. And on that subject, I've actually just been shortlisted for an award as well, which would be my third year running for the Livewire Global Awards for fisheries management and aquaculture management on a global scale. So I just got the notification through this morning, and I thought, oh wow, not again!
Congratulations!
To that effect. But this year's been, certainly it's been a very busy year for me on that side, and spreading the wings on the international side as well, with projects in Kenya and Zambia, Angola, Switzerland, and Oman, and so it goes on. So yeah,
Wow.
I've been a busy boy.
Wow.
Sorry about that. They were mowing the lawn, so I couldn't speak. But thank you so much, Helena, for your Royal Roundup today. Really do appreciate you. And Simon, we're over to you for your presentation today.
Right. Well, today it's another story coming from the Second World War. And this pertains to the area of Clydebank, which is just to the west of Glasgow. And I remember a few weeks ago, in fact, probably a couple of months ago now, and I did a piece about John Brown Shipyard, which was one of the most important shipyards on the Clyde, and has seen many a good keel going down her slipway, including the Queen Mary and the QE2 and various other well-known ships, and HMS Hood as well, which was the pride of the Royal Navy, an amazing battleship as well, which sadly was sunk with all hands. Well, the Germans obviously realized this was a centre that needed to be seen to. And they carried out what is known as the Clydebank Blitz, which was the most intense bombing campaign, total carpet bombing campaign to absolutely flatten the area of Clydebank. It really was quite devastating. And there is a personal side to it as well, which I'll explain. So on the nights of the 13th and 14th of March in 1941, the Luftwaffe executed a brutal attack on Clydebank, dealing a devastating blow from which the town has actually never fully recovered. From the beginning of the Second World War, Clydeside as a whole prepared itself for the expected onslaught, and Clydebank, independent and proud, did too. Well, many felt that the town's industrial profile marked it as a prime target, although some wishfully believed that the iron in the mountains surrounding Clydeside would interfere sufficiently with the compasses of the aircraft, making reliable target navigation impossible. Anyway, at 9 p.m. on the clear, frosty evening of Thursday, the 13th of March, beneath the light of a full moon, the eerie wail of sirens echoed through the Clyde Valley. As the sirens faded, within minutes they were replaced by the drone of heavily laden bombers. In the darkness, 10,000 feet above, Luftwaffe crews in labouring Heinkels of the elite KGR 100 bomber group gazed down on a city in blackout. However, the silver waters of the Clyde estuary, the river and canal and docks, all reflected the glare of the full moon, and in their aircraft, bomb aimers gazed at neatly folded night maps coloured deep magenta and green, and pinpointed targets far below with greatest of ease. The formation spread to mark their targets. Bombs and incendiaries rained down as the citizens of Clydebank scuttled to safety. Their town began to burn. The first bombs were small, 100 pounds of high explosives, oil bombs and incendiaries with the intention of starting fires to act as a beacon for the main force, which was already en route from bases in France, Holland, Denmark and Germany as well. According to German records, on the first night, the Luftwaffe dropped 1,630 containers of 2-pound incendiary bombs, Each container weighed 150 to 500 pounds, so a total of 105,300 bombs in that little lot. And they were made of magnesium alloy with a filling of thermite and ignited on impact by an impact fuse. Well, they burned fiercely with a heat sufficient to actually melt steel. They're dropped in a variety of containers designed to open as they fell. The bombs could be easily spread in patterns with devastating efficiency. The first blazes began at the Yoker distillery to the east of the town, and in the 40 acres that comprised Singer's timber yard, which was stocked full. Singer's had put on hold their production of the world-famous sewing machines to make precision instruments for military use. So, set on a hill above the town to the northwest, the Auchentoshan distillery was blasted, setting ablaze a warehouse containing the equivalent of 1 million bottles of whiskey. From the resulting inferno, whiskey poured into the nearby stream, creating a line of fire that stretched nearly half a mile down to the Clyde. Schools and churches were sadly also destroyed in the hail of incendiaries. And to the immediate west of the town, and close to the Auchentoshan distillery, was situated Clydeside's main Admiralty oil storage facility, which covered 130 acres. Well, the Luftwaffe target maps categorized this as an area of primary target. Post-raid surveys counted 96 bomb craters from that. 11 huge tanks of vital fuel were destroyed, and seven others were severely damaged. The resulting inferno blazed for over 4 weeks. In every street, a fire had taken hold. The Holy City, so called because its flat-roofed houses resembled Jerusalem from a distance, was ablaze from end to end. The town, now an inferno, beckoned the incoming formations as the heavy bombs and parachute mines began to fall. Such was the intensity of the raid that the emergency services were just totally overwhelmed. Communications were badly interrupted by a direct hit on the control center. Firefighting and rescue units toiled independently against hopeless odds. A bomb, leaving a crater 30 feet wide by 20 feet deep, severed the town water supply in the early hours of the raid and cut off firefighting supplies. Immediate assistance from neighbouring services was made impossible by the craters and the collapsed buildings which blocked the borough's roads. My mother actually served in the auxiliary fire service during the war and was in one of the many firefighting crews that tackled the devastation of the Clydebank Blitz. She recalled an incident to me where her fire engine was destroyed by a bomb. The blast catapulted her across the road into a blazing doorway. Well, she picked herself up and ran to join another fire crew and continued on through the night, the next day and the following night as well, to tackle the fires that surrounded them, dodging shrapnel and flying glass. She was lucky and escaped the carnage unscathed, other than a few bruises. And 2 of her crew were killed, sadly. Hardly a single street in the borough was without a fatal casualty. 2nd Avenue had the highest number of deaths, 80, when a parachute mine ripped the face off 150 yards of terraced housing. Whole families were wiped out as tenement buildings collapsed, crushing the occupants who had sought shelter in the lower floors and closes. Soon became apparent that the battle to defeat the inferno had been lost, through damage to fire appliances and equipment and to the sheer scale of the bombardment. In rest centres, medical supplies were exhausted quickly. The burned and broken were attended to in horrendous conditions with anything that was available. For 9 hours, wave after wave of bombers mercilessly pounded the town. Into the night, the deaths and destruction mounted. Dawn broke. The all clear sounded, and Clydebank shocked citizens emerged from their shelters into an unrecognisable, smashed and burning town. The borough was evacuated. 48,000 refugees were set adrift and spread afar, many never to return. Clydebank was still burning that evening when the bombers returned to a near-deserted town to complete their task. When the drone of the last bomber had faded, 1,200 people lay dead and over 1,000 had been seriously injured. Many hundreds more were wounded by shards of exploding glass. Clydebank suffered a massive loss of housing. 4,000 were completely destroyed, 4,500 were severely damaged, and 3,500 suffered serious to mild damage. Only 7 houses out of a total stock of 12,000 houses remained intact. Many large schools and churches also perished to it as well. Industrial targets received direct hits or severe blast and incendiary damage as well. Beardmore, the Royal Ordnance Factory, John Brown's Clyde Shipyard, the most important shipyard in the Clyde, which I'd spoken about several weeks ago, Arnott Young, Rothsay Dock, D&J Tullis, and the Singer Factory all suffered. The massive Singer timber yard was totally destroyed. As the primary target, the Admiralty Royal Storage Depot at Dalnotter, 11 huge tanks have been destroyed, others severely damaged. Countless millions of gallons of fuel were lost, and the resulting inferno blazed for weeks. When the site was finally cleared, 96 bomb craters were counted around the oil tanks area. There can be no doubt that the Clydebank Blitz succeeded in causing massive dislocation and hardship to the population. That was part of its design. But the Clydebank people were no stranger to hardship, as those acquainted with the town's history will know. Importantly, the psychological effect was the exact opposite of what was intended. Rather than divide the community and throw it into frenzied panic, it strengthened and immeasurably hardened the people's resolve to survive and to resist. There was, however, a lingering anger tinged with sadness. The once close-knit communities passionately desired to be reunited, and this has never happened. Ties were severed, many thousands drifted, time passed, and people began to make new lives elsewhere. Many still bear the mental and physical scars, all have vivid recollections. The consequences of the Blitz of Clydebank were as far-reaching in time as they were in effect. It was a terrible, terrible raid.
Even the dog liked it.
Even the dog, sorry about that.
even the dog, yeah.
That was just so sad.
Really,
It's very harrowing, yeah.
it really is.
But anyway, my mother survived, as I am the proof of that. Yeah, she didn't speak very much of it, but she did recount to me the day when she was when their fire tender was hit with a bomb, and she was blown across the road and into a doorway, which was ablaze at the time. So yeah, it was pretty tough times then.
Yeah, these pictures really say it all. I mean,
They do. I mean, it's just incredible. And I mean, I remember, in the 1960s, driving through Clydebank, and the gaps where houses and buildings had been were still there. And actually, to this day, there are still many gaps left where the houses were blown and have never actually been replaced. The population in Clydebank now is, very mixed and varied, of all nationalities. Very, very few of the original Clydebank families are actually still there now. They've all gone their separate ways, as 48,000 people were displaced that night, or those 2 nights.
Wow, that's just so hard to believe. And what's so amazing to me is that you see this and your mind just cannot absorb it. It just doesn't seem real.
It is, yeah.
But then what is it about human beings that we all can't wait to see the next war movie coming out?
I know.
Quite, I know. I think
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because the war movies, it's all going to have a happy ending and so on. It's a totally different thing. But if you witness something live, that's that hits home. Even the good things as well. I mean, I was actually just talking the other night about the show Lord of the Dance, which is coming to Scotland next month. And I've seen that show live before, and it is absolutely incredible. But I've also seen it on television, and yeah, it's brilliant. But it just it doesn't have the same impact of actually seeing it live.
Mm.
So, and wartime as well, I think, thank goodness, I don't think any of us have actually witnessed, witnessed serious war, and I hope we never do, because a lot of lessons I think were learned after the First and Second World Wars, and we're sort of teetering a lot just now with the current situation between Russia and Ukraine. But, let's just hope it doesn't develop any further into another global conflict.
Let's pray for that for sure. But I really appreciate you sharing all this and reminding us of history that's so important so that we learn from our mistakes. So it's very powerful.
Yes. I mean, the thing is, it's not that far away from where I am now. I mean, it's about an hour and a half in the car. And every time I go to Glasgow, I'm driving through that area, and I'm driving through, many of those big oil tanks are still there, the ones that survived. And that hillside is a different shape than it was before the war. But you can see the outline of the buried oil tanks as well, because they were all covered in ground to try and disguise them as best they could. But you can't hide them totally. So, So,
where were you able to find the photographs?
I keep hunting, researching, and at any odd moment and so on. Because I get totally absorbed in the research for these pieces, which I do as well, and it's fascinating. And the thing is, with a lot of them, because I know the places well, I know some of the people involved too, so I can go straight to the horse's mouth, so to speak, to get more information.
Well, it shines through. So brilliant storytelling, and I'm sure it takes a toll on you just even presenting.
That one did. I was actually sort of choking a little bit halfway through it, must admit. But there we go. Anyway, on this day, on a lighter note.
Yes.
Is it all on a lighter note, I wonder? On this day, in 1746, Scotland's Bonnie Prince Charlie, he fled literally over the sea to Skye. He was disguised as a woman. So cross-dressing happened in those days as well.
It's way back.
In 1850, Millard Fillmore was sworn in as the 13th President of the United States, replacing Taylor. 2019, right up to date, Taylor Swift, who's been making a huge impact in the UK just now with their concerts, well, Taylor Swift was named as the world's highest paid entertainer by Forbes, earning $185 million in 2018.
Wow.
Yes. She's currently, apparently, cruising in a super yacht along the west coast and Western Isles, and passed by here actually just the other day. So that's it. And so birthdays today, where are we now? 1897, Legs Diamond, the American gangster during the Prohibition era, was born in Philadelphia. Then 1945, Virginia Wade, the English tennis player and winner of the US Open in 1968 and the Australian Open in 1972 and Wimbledon in 1978. She was born in Bournemouth in England, so she's 78 today. So happy birthday, Virginia. I've actually met her. She, when I had my smoking business, she came in and spent a couple of hours chatting away with me as well, with her partner and so on. Quite a fascinating person. So deaths today. In 138 AD, Hadrian, the Roman emperor and builder of Hadrian's Wall, dies at age 62. Hadrian's Wall is almost totally along the border between Scotland and England. So I'm not sure whether Hadrian's Wall was there to keep the English out from us or keep us out from the English. I think the Romans had come so far north, and I think they found that the Scots were a little bit more than they could really handle. So Emperor Hadrian said, "Build a wall, keep them out." So there we are. So the wall, the remnants of the wall is still there today, just straddling right the way across between Scotland and England. Then in 2015, Omar Sharif, the Egyptian actor, famous for Dr. Zhivago and Lawrence of Arabia and many other movies as well, he died at the age of 88. So there we have
Handsome.
this day.
You
So I
are.
thought the Wimbledon one was rather appropriate with Virginia's birthday. And of course, Wimbledon being on just now, as I say, from the weather. Oh dear, what a pity, what a shame. It's not Wimbledon Tennis Week, it's Wimbledon Regatta.
Are they playing in the rain, or are the matches delayed?
Most of the games are still going ahead. In the centre court, in fact, I think one or two of the other courts as well, they've got a big sliding roof that goes over it. Cheating, I suppose. But it saves the smoked salmon and the strawberries and cream getting wet as well.
It's interesting to have strawberries and cream where we have hot dogs and ice
I
cream.
know, what a difference. I'll take
Well,
this.
this is it. It's right in the heart of strawberry season just now. I mean, they're lovely. They really are. And I've actually got wild strawberries growing in the garden. The wild strawberries, I mean, they're tiny little things, but the flavour of them, they're really jam-packed with it. Absolutely delicious. So, and it's nice just being able to, every time we go out the garden, just grab a few of these and so on. I've got to be careful because the dog likes them as well. So it's a bit of a race to see who gets the better ones.
First.
I'm drooling over here. I'm so hungry for strawberries. I'm gonna go to the farm.
Don't get it on any of your equipment there because it'll short it all out and make your turn.
I won't. Thank you for that, Simon. That was great information and always learning something new.
Always.
Well, it's the whole purpose of it, but I'm learning a lot as well from it. And, I enjoy researching all these things out and, and any spare moments I get, which is usually about 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, so as I'm working on next week's as well, just now.
I was going to say you probably start as soon as the show's over. Time to get ready for next week.
Oh no, I'm halfway through next week's one already.
Oh my
So
goodness.
gosh.
watch this space.
All right.
All right. And congratulations on the award coming up.
Yes. That's
Well, I'm shortlisted. I haven't got it yet. So,
who do we talk to? Let's get
That's
this.
huge.
I'm sure it'll come through.
well, it's nice to think somebody's thinking of me. So.
Definitely.
But,
Diane, what say you as we get ready to wrap up today's show?
Not much. I'm just so glad that the sun's shining and the high winds have stopped. And so, yay.
Yay. That's fabulous. Well, I have one announcement, which you probably all know, is that we are working to get to 100,000 subscribers on both of our channels. And we have added 1,028 subscribers to this channel in the last 28 days. And to our other channel, which I don't have a graphic, shame on me, we've added 479 in the last 28 days. So
Wow.
thank
We're
you
getting
to
there.
everyone who's subscribing. Really do appreciate it.
Absolutely. And congratulations to you. You're such a hard worker. You really make
Committed.
it.
Yeah, I know. I thought I was a hard worker until we met Dr. JACALYN. I think this.
I have people come and stay with me and they're like, we can't do anything with you because you're always working. I'm like, told you you got here. Told you the way it is.
But you know what? The thing is that you love it. So
I do.
don't see it as work. I see it as enjoyment because anyway, that's how I see it for you.
Well,
Yeah.
that's it. I mean, if you don't look forward to a Monday morning, then it's time to think of a new career.
It's
So
true.
that's it. But I love Monday mornings. It's great.
As
never-
every day that my eyes open up, what are you talking
Yes. Every day for me is the same because I work on weekends. I work on holidays. It's the same. So every day it's a gift.
Yeah.
So if I drive down to Florida to see you, I just need to know I'm going to sit in the living room while you're working.
That's it.
and
Yeah.
I'll say hi to you in
We'll do
between.
interviews. Our whole conversation will be live.
Yeah. Just bring some food for the iguanas and that'll be fine. Yeah.
There you go. You are so witty. And I
He's
mean,
on it today. Woo!
the iguanas. I need to be like that.
Smart. Well, we have to say goodbye because Anne Scotland's show is just about to start, followed by the Royally Rich Lifestyle show, and then Royal Breaking News from London. So stay tuned. And also we have, I think, 3 more new shows that are starting. And Diane, you remember Dark Joseph Ravine. He's joining our team. Remember him from before?
Yes,
Yeah.
that is fabulous news.
Yes, Robert J. Moore just joined our team. And who else? We have a chef, Ki Sung, who's joining us as well with a cooking show. So that's what's going on as we say goodbye for now.
Well, before you say goodbye, I just want to say we have to bring us all together like you dreamed about and go from there. I can see a USA Global TV conference coming in the future.
I know we do have to get on that and plan it out, a year or so. We can't just start last minute. So we'll do that. It's on the list.
That's great.
And Simon will cook us salmon.
Yes.
Oh, indeed, yes. So remember, if you want the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain as well.
That's right.
Sure. All right, the bell is rung. Goodbye, everyone. See you next time. Bye.
The last few days have been really amazing. I had a trainer course from the British School of Etiquette.
And I must say it's been one of the best decisions I've ever made and one of the best investments I've made in my own training and development.
Now, words alone will not describe the transformation and the positive path that I have traveled with the British School of Etiquette.
I find I learned a lot from the lessons this time I came.
The last few days with the British School of Etiquette have been fantastic.
And what I've learned now is really beyond my expectations.
This is the most rewarding experience and the best investment I've made this year.
It was just great. I learned so much, and when I go back to Belgium I will incorporate a lot of it into my day-to-day life and business.
It's been absolutely wonderful for the whole week that we were here.
I feel transformed, and I feel like blowing a trumpet and tell people, come and do this school, this class is the best, this is the best school ever.
You should take it. It will change your life immediately.
I am now able to teach other people how to bring the best of them.
Thank you.
Thank you, BSC.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.